Okay, we're in lesson 4 of the Marine Transportation Metal Boat Hull. I'm back in SolidWorks. We're going to open up our boat hull and we're going to create a second flat pattern that we're going to use to create our DXF file for the plasma cutter. So you open up your folded boat. We're going to go to the sheet metal tab. If you lost yours, you can right click and make sure sheet metal is active. And we're going to go to flattened pattern. Once we have this, all we need to do now is click on the surface, right click, and then we are going to export as a DXF file right here. So we make sure it's flattened, select the surface, export as a DXF. We're going to save it to the same folder, and notice you can keep the same name, and it's going to have a DXF extension. You're going to hit save. There's multiple steps here. You need to hit a check over here, say OK, and we're going to hit save. Notice we're just getting the outline of this shape. So we hit save and we now have our flat pattern. The next step is going to bring it into the Torchmate software and actually create our toolpath for the plasma cutter. So we're done with SolidWorks. We can close out of SolidWorks. I'm going to hit save. And now we're going to open up our Torchmate software, Torchmate EDU. So once we open up the Torchmate software, we're going to need to select the material size for our part. So I don't remember exactly. We can edit it after we bring it in, but I know that this part is a little bit bigger than 11 by 17. So I'm going to go to where is it? Under layout, we're going to go to material size. We're going to leave our width at 18 inches, and I think we could get away with 10 inches on the height. Leave it as a portrait setup. Oops, I'm sorry. I meant to say horizontal landscape. Why is it showing up? That's because I have these. Let's switch these back. The width wants to be 18. The height wants to be 10. If we're in portrait, if we're in landscape, we want the width to be 18 and the height to be 10. That looks right. All right, we've got our rectangle now. Now we're going to go to File, and we're going to import our DXF file. So we've got to find our folder. So we're going to go into my documents. This is not in alphabetical order, so it's not making it easy for me. Let's do this. There we go. All right. Marine Transportation, and the only DXF file we have. We click OK. It's going to ask us, we're going to leave all of these settings alone, and we're going to hit replace font. We need to select a font to replace. I'm just going to select this one. The only reason we need that is because we need to get rid of this SolidWorks label. So you just make a box around it and hit delete. Now we have our DXF file. I'm going to just move it over. Looks like 18 might be a little bit tight for our size. So I'm going to just use my arrow keys on the keyboard, and it looks like it'll fit. 10 is, we got more than we need in the height, so I'm going to shorten this up a little bit. I'm going to go to Layout and go to Material Size, and let's take our height down to 8. And see if that fits. That fits. All right. So now that we have our part centered nicely on our sheet, we can select this, and we're going to go to Arrange and go to Make Path. And it doesn't do anything, but we need to do that. Then we're going to go to Machine, and we're going to go to Create Toolpath Male, and it's going to pull up this dialog box. Even though our material is not 3 inches thick, it really doesn't matter. We can leave that. We're going to go to basic cut. This is important. We want our feed rate to be 150 inches per minute. We want to make sure that our tool is set at plasma. We're going to go to lead in and lead out and create a lead in. This isn't already selected. You want to have a line. That line wants to be about 1/8 of an inch at a 45-degree angle. When you hit OK, you'll now see that you have a tool path outlining your part. You'll also notice if you zoom in that the tool path doesn't go all the way in some cases. That's because the kerf of the plasma cutter is too large to get into those cuts. So when this comes off the plasma cutter, we're probably going to need to take a set of shears and just slice this flat pattern in a little bit so that those folds will respond the way we want to. So we'll make note of that. Once you're done with this, you're going to go to File and go to Save. This is going to create an EDU file. So again, last name, first initial, boat hull, or just boat. Hit save. Put it in your marine transportation folder. This file is now going to need to get carried on a flash drive over the plasma cutter, and then we're going to open up the Torchmate software on the plasma cutter and output this tool path. So that will be the final video.